Hey you guys, so I want to talk to you about um, making the choice of being happy. And, I talk to a lot of people that say they want to be happy, they just don't know how. Well, I want to kind of explain something that is very real and very true, and but a lot of people just overlook. So, in your life, you will have 5 things that are really shitty, and then you'll have 5 things that are really good. The problem is that when we focus all of our attention on the things that are really shitty, really shitty, you can't see the things that are really good. So I want to kind of ask you to do a little experiment with me. So go grab 2 different objects. So I'm going to show you, here we go. There we go. I have a black rock in this hand, and I have a crystal in this hand, okay? So in this hand right here, this is what we call the negative things in our life. And in this hand, this is the positive things in our life. So what I am going to ask you to do in this little experiment is to take both of these things, and I want you to focus on all the negative things in your life and all the positive things in your life at the same time. Go. Now you notice one thing. What happened? You can't. You can't. It's too hard. You can't think about the bad things and the good things at the same time. You can't have bad feelings and have good feelings at the same time. It's just absolutely impossible. So how do you do this? Well, I had a woman come to me that was so upset. An Indian woman, and her daughter brought her in, and she could barely speak any English, so we had to do a little interpretation. But she was telling me all these horror stories about her other daughter and all these bad things that she had to go through, and how her husband forced her daughter to marry our uncle or somebody forced her to marry this guy, and then he abused her, and then she finally got away from him and all this other stuff. And she's like, I feel so guilty and I feel so sad, blah, 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 blah. And here I am looking at this young lady who's right there with her, supporting her. And I said, where do you live? And she goes, I live with this daughter here. And I said, okay. And I said, so how's it like there? And she goes, it's so wonderful. And I go, does she have kids? And she goes, and I love those kids. And I said, okay. I said, okay. And so she's like, but how do I focus? She goes, how do I focus on good things when I'm so sad inside? And I said, look, you've got this beautiful daughter here that has beautiful kids. And if you put your energy into that and you think about that, then at that point, you're moving your energy and thoughts into this. You want to remove the thoughts that are causing you horror in your life, because they're going to be there. So if you're outside and there's a bunch of mosquitoes and they're really bugging you, what do? Well, the normal person goes inside. So, if it's storming outside and, what do? You go inside. When we had this hurricane thing happen, and Shane and I were inside the house, and, for several days, we weren't like sitting there in horror, like, oh my God, what's going to happen? This is a horrible hurricane. We were just like, hey, let's get put in a couple movies. After that, it was like adult coloring book. We played some games, We did several different types of things, and we just focused on what we could. And I think a lot of people did, Well, other people, even though perhaps they may not have been flooded or whatever, they were focused on really, really bad stuff. And it wasn't even happening to them, I talked to a lot of people that said that they would check up on their family, and their family was okay, and they were okay, and they felt really blessed, and they were keeping their mindset in the right place. And so here I'm going to propose this to you, okay? When there are good things going on in your life, instead of thinking of the bad things, think about the good things. When this whole storm was going on, Shane couldn't work for a while. In fact, we just couldn't get out of the house. We couldn't get out and drive or anything. I couldn't work, And so both of us have um, jobs or careers that basically it's about, if we're not working, we're not making any money. So it kind of shorted us on income for a little while. And instead of focusing on that, Shane said, Michelle, we really got lucky. We really are lucky. We should count our blessings. And you know what? And that's where we stayed. Instead of worrying about, oh God, when are we going to be able to go back to work? When am I able to get on the freeway and drive? When am I going to be able to take clients? I did the best I could. I did phone sessions. I did Skype sessions. I did FaceTime. And Shane just chilled back and said, you know what? This is like a vacation for me. I'm gonna accept this. And that's where we stood. And when everything was back to normal, we were like, all right, we're just kicking into high gear and we're going to try to get everything moving again. So I propose to you that a way that you can get past this is to start focusing on the things that are good in your life. So the way that I want you to do this, and a lot of times when you're so focused on the negative, you're going to go, there's nothing good in my life, Michelle, nothing. So I'm gonna give you a little exercise. I want you to get out a piece of paper, a journal or something, and I want you to write down 3 things that you are grateful for. Now, tomorrow, I want you to write down 3 things that you're grateful for that are different. And then the following day, I want you to write down 3 things you're grateful for that are different from that. Don't ever duplicate this. And do this for 30 days. At the end of those 30 days, you will feel like a different person because you will have told yourself and trained yourself to focus on the things that are good in your life. And suddenly, those other things, it's like a tennis ball, bouncing off of the wall. Because you have such wonderful things in your life that you really never really focused on, that you should feel blessed about. At that point, that's when you're able to overcome those things because it doesn't seem as bad. And it seems like it's like, okay, I can handle this because I have this strength somewhere else. Focus on the things you're grateful for, and it will change your life. This is Michelle Thompson. Have a wonderful day.